The air screamed with the wail of a siren I hadn't heard in years, a banshee's cry tearing through the haze of sleep. I bolted upright in my bunk, heart hammering like a war drum, the metallic tang of panic flooding my mouth. Gray smoke slithered from the ceiling vents of my bunker, curling like ghostly fingers in the dim glow of a Cold War-era red warning light that pulsed in the corner. For a split second, I was 12 again, my father's voice drilling Sir VY Val protocols into my skull. Gas, fire, attack move, don't think. I lunged for my flashlight, its beam cutting through the haze, and yanked on my boots, laces slapping against my shins as I scrambled up the emergency ladder. The rungs were ice cold, biting my palms, but I climbed like a man possessed, certain the world above was collapsing under some unseen catastrophe missiles, maybe or worse. My bunker, my fortress, was supposed to be untouchable. I'd built it to outlast everything. When I cracked the camouflaged hatch, the truth hit harder than any bomb. No apocalypse waited above just a bulldozer's guttural roar and the stench of diesel. Its blade hovered inches from my air shaft, earth torn open like a fresh wound, jagged and raw. Workers in neon orange vests swarmed the site, pouring concrete with the casual arrogance of men who didn't know they were burying my world. A banner flapped mockingly overhead. Future site of Pine Hollow Community Center grand opening this weekend. My stomach churned. The Pine Hollow Homeowners Association, those petty tyrants who'd once fined my neighbor Gus for planting zucchini in his front yard, had just trespassed. They'd paved over my sanctuary, my legacy, without so much as a whisper of warning. I hauled myself out, boots sinking into the churned mud, and roared, "Who's in charge here?" My voice cracked with rage, drawing stares from the crew. A worker with a sunburned neck squinted at me, muttering, "Where'd this guy crawl from?" I ignored him, scanning for the puppet master behind this chaos. She appeared like a storm cloud in a pressed blazer. Vi VY and Carver, HOA president, her auburn bob sharp as a guillotine, clutching a tablet and a caramel macchiato. She sized me up like I was a stray dog begging for scraps. "Sir, you're trespassing on HOA property," she said, her voice smooth as venom, lips curling into a practiced smile. "This lot belongs to the community now." "Trespassing," I choked, pointing at the smoking shaft behind me. "This is my land. That bunker's mine, federally authorized, built before your McMansions sprouted like weeds." Her smile didn't waver. "Funny," she said, sipping her drink. "Our records show this plot's been rezoned. Your little hideout? It's history." Her words landed like a gut punch. I wanted to scream, to shake her until that smug mask cracked, but the worker's snicker, "Mole Man lives underground," stopped me cold. I stormed back to the hatch, its clang sealing me in darkness. Inside, my bunker hummed with the faint pulse of its generators, a heartbeat I'd trusted for decades. I fired up the console, its green glow illuminating the steel walls, and yanked open a locker I hadn't touched in years. Blueprint spilled out Department of CIVYL Defense, 1962, stamped with my father's initials. He'd been part of the pilot program, designing shelters to outlast the end of the world. As a kid, I trailed him to sites, learning rebar over recess, concrete over cartoons. With my own engineering clearance, I'd built this bunker deeper, stronger, a fortress disguised as a crumbling shed. A charter clause protected the land for 50 years. Vi VY and's HOA had just handed me a weapon. "My name's Ethan Caldwell, and I'm not a man who surrenders." That bunker iron vault, I called it, wasn't just steel and concrete. It was my father's dream, my sweat, my defiance against a world that forgets too easily. I scanned the blueprints, my fingers tracing the charter's fine print, then emailed my old friend Marcus Reed, a lawyer with ties to federal infrastructure. "Urgent. HOA breaching federal site. Charter attached." My tablet pinged, confirming my deed. Vi VY and's community center was a house of cards, built on Liesno legal transfer, no rezoning approval. She'd gambled big and lost bigger. By dawn, I was ready for war. I marched to the HOA office, a gaudy colonial with fake pillars and flags flapping like they owned the sky. Vi Wine was out, but her assistant, Trevor Lane, a twitchy guy with a comb-over, flinched when I dropped the blueprint tubes on his desk with a thud. "What's this?" he stammered, eyes darting like a cornered rat. "Vy Denke," I said. "Tell Vi and her HOA just declared war on a federal facility." His nervous laugh betrayed him as he clutched the tubes, hands trembling. I left him to sweat, knowing the real fight was coming. That afternoon, Vi called an emergency board meeting, no in VYTE for me. I slipped in anyway, a ghost in the back row, folding chairs creaking under suburban egos. Vi stood at the podium, spinning a tale of progress, new playgrounds, yoga classes, a unified community. Then she branded me a squatter, an unregistered relic, hoarding land meant for kids. Her new map flashed on a screen, my plots swallowed into a green zone. Polite claps rippled, but I caught the confusion in their eyes. I stood. "When was this map updated?" "3 months ago," she snapped. "Board vote." I smiled, slow and sharp. "Check the original deeds. County says no transfer. That bunker's federal ceiling tampering's a felony." The room froze. Trevor dropped his pen. Vi's face twitched, a crack in her armor. "Absurd," she said. "There's no shelter." I held up an aerial photo, my hatch stark against her lies. "Look harder." Whispers trailed me out. Marcus emailed back. DHS flagged. 48 hours, they'll halt construction. Vi's concrete was her coffin. Saturday's grand opening was a circus bounce houses, a brass band, Vi in a coral dress, grinning like a queen. I lingered on the edges, cap low, iron vault humming beneath their feet. Mid-speech, a tremor shook the stage, a deep rumble like a beast waking. Vi laughed it off. "Old pipes." Oddly VY to the truth. The shakes grew. A floor panel hissed, a trapdoor groaning under her shiny new laminate. Fire Marshal Lena Burke, Gus's sister, frowned and descended with a flashlight. Sirens follow not local, but federal, guttural, echoing from vents hidden in Vi's decor. Lena resurfaced, pale as death. "Shut it down," she said. "Federal facility classified shelter." They built over it. Vi stammered. "This is above my pay grade." "Way above," Lena shot back. "Feds are coming." The crowd scattered, fear replacing their picnic buzz. My phone VY Bratita block number. Iron Vault owner? Status reactivating. Inspection imminent. Block access. I hit the county clerk next, pulling zoning records. Vi's maps were flimsy overlays, ignoring my deed and Iron Vault's half-block sprawl. By evening, the HOA meeting was chaos. Vi haggard, blamed plumbing glitches. Trevor clutched a leaked DHS memo I'd slipped to a board member, classification tags glaring. Residents demanded answers. I stepped forward. "You buried my legacy of federal shelter, not a man cave. Your error costs us all." Vi floundered. A board member, Carla Hayes, asked, "Feds are coming? When?" "Wait for the SUVs," I said. The courthouse smelled of burnt coffee and despair. I filed repossession, deeds, and hatch photos in hand-iron vault seals glinting under Vi's flooring. The clerk froze, calling a super VY sore, then DHS's Claire Monroe. I laid out the bunker's history. Untransferred land, HOA blunders my father's designs. Claire nodded. "We'll take over." Trevor called, panicked. Feds taped the site. Vi's unraveling. DHS had cocooned the community center in yellow tape, radar scanning the playground, exposing my second hatchaw decade secret. Vi downplayed it as an audit, but residents scoffed. Boardroom panic followed. Carla leaked Vi's rant. That bunker freak redrew Linesno approval. It went VY Ral, fueling protests to unseat her. I offered a lease exorbitant, with inspections, fences, signs, federal zone, felony access. The board, minus Vi agreed. She stormed my land one last time. "This isn't done." I pointed to the sign. "It's federal now. Step lightly." She retreated. Trevor quit. Vi lost her chair, probed for forgery, fraud, obstruction. The HOA apologized, but I was done with their games. Iron Vault hummed, recalibrated after 20 years. The community center stood shunned, signs warning of federal ground. I leased the park to Gus's, serve VY Valist group legal drills. No HOA nonsense. Vi VY's cousin, a hired guard, tried to block us. One fine for trespass, shut him up. News screamed. HOA hall to bunker base. Vi VY called mid-rant, but I hosted a CIVYC fair instead. Food trucks, CPR demos, fire talks. DHS granted Iron Vault Tier 2 status, grants, drills, community training. Residents joined, swapping cookies and solar panel questions. Trevor, of all people, thanked me. You show me the truth. I rebuilt Iron Vault's hatches, locks, log secure, unshaken. Pine Hollow exhaled, its roots deeper than Vi VY's concrete. Years on, Iron Vault trained thousands kids, families, preppers safe under my watch. Vi VY faded, shunned, probed to Obli VY on. A heritage hub rose from her rubble. Community core, pie contests, murals bright as hope. Pine Hollow bloomed, flags high, fines gone. My legacy lived, forged in steel, rooted in truth, stronger than any HOA's lies. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.